But I can fool people. But on film, tricky.
At 91 years old, Dame Judi Dench did something no one expected. She stopped being polite. For decades, she was known as the most gracious woman in British acting, dignified, restrained, never involved in public feuds. If she disagreed, she smiled. If she was hurt, she stayed silent. Hollywood learned to believe that Judi Dench simply forgave everything. That belief was wrong. In a rare, unguarded moment, Dench revealed that there are 6 people she never forgave. Not because of gossip, not because of rivalry, but because each of them crossed a line she considers unforgivable. Disrespect. These weren't outsiders. They were powerful, celebrated. Some were once friends. And what they did was serious enough that Judi Dench chose the same response every time she walked away and never came back. The names may surprise you, but the reasons will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about her. Number 1. Harvey Weinstein. When power tried to replace respect, Judi Dench never raised her voice around Harvey Weinstein. She didn't have to. At the height of his power, Weinstein made a habit of flattering legends in public while controlling them in private. Judi Dench was no exception. In meetings, he praised her gravitas. In interviews, he called her essential. But behind closed doors, the tone shifted. During one private discussion about a role, Weinstein cut her off mid-sentence and said something that ended the relationship forever. Just show up. Let us handle the thinking. For Judi Dench, that was not pressure. It was erasure. She had spent a lifetime building characters from discipline, intuition, and intelligence. To be reduced to a presence, not a mind, crossed a line she never negotiated. She didn't argue. She didn't threaten to walk. She simply disengaged. Projects stalled. Calls went unanswered. Influence vanished. Years later, when Weinstein's empire collapsed, many expected Dench to comment. She didn't. Her decision had already been made long before the headlines. Power, she believed, does not excuse disrespect, and silence, when chosen, can be final. Number 2, Steve Coogan. When depth was dismissed as too much. The clash with Steve Coogan wasn't explosive. That made it worse. During rehearsals, Judi Dench approached scenes the way she always had, slowly, deliberately, asking questions about motive and subtext. Coogan, known for his sharp wit and improvisational style, grew impatient. At one point, he laughed and said, "The audience isn't writing an essay." The room went quiet. To some, it sounded like a joke. To Dench, it was a dismissal of craft, a suggestion that decades of preparation were unnecessary, even pretentious. She didn't respond in the moment. She didn't correct him. She finished the work with professionalism and grace. But when the project ended, so did the relationship. Judi Dench believes humor and depth can coexist. What she does not accept is being told that care is a weakness. She never publicly criticized Coogan. She never explained herself. She simply declined future collaborations. Those close to her later said the message was clear. When seriousness is mocked, respect has already left the room. Number 3. Maggie Smith. When public irony became personal, of all the names on Judi Dench's list, this one shocked people the most. Maggie Smith was not a rival. She was a peer, a fellow icon, a woman who understood exactly what it meant to survive and thrive on the British stage, which is why the moment hurt as deeply as it did. During a rehearsal disagreement, Dench offered a suggestion calmly, privately. Maggie Smith responded publicly, with a sharp, ironic tone that drew laughter from the room. "If you'd like to direct, Judi, just say so." The words weren't cruel. The setting was. In that instant, Dench felt something shift. Not anger, disappointment. A boundary had been crossed, not through insult, but through exposure. To be undercut in front of peers is not a difference of opinion. It's a statement of hierarchy. Judi Dench didn't retaliate. On stage, the professionalism remained flawless. Off stage, the warmth cooled. Future opportunities quietly dissolved. What had once been camaraderie became distance. Later, when asked why the two legends were rarely seen together again, Dench offered only a measured smile. She believes respect is not proven by praise, but by restraint, especially among equals. Number 4. Daniel Day-Lewis. When genius turned into isolation. Judi Dench has never denied Daniel Day-Lewis's brilliance. In fact, she admired it. But admiration has limits. Working alongside Day-Lewis meant stepping into the world of extreme method acting, a place where boundaries blur and normal human interaction often disappears. Off camera, he remained inside his character. He refused casual conversation. He avoided eye contact. He spoke only when absolutely necessary, and even then, not as himself. At first, Judi Dench respected the discipline. She understood commitment. But as days passed, something felt wrong. This wasn't preparation anymore. It was exclusion. In shared scenes, he barely acknowledged her presence between takes. No discussion, no exchange of ideas, no collaboration. To Judi Dench, acting had always been a dialogue, a living exchange between two minds shaping a moment together. Here, she felt reduced to a prop orbiting another man's process. She never confronted him. She never questioned his talent. But privately, she decided she would never work in that environment again. Genius, she believes, does not require erasing the people around you. And when artistry becomes isolation, something essential is lost. Number 5. Kenneth Branagh. When admiration turned into arrogance. This one cut deeper than most. Kenneth Branagh was once more than a colleague. He was a protégé, a young actor-director who openly admired Judi Dench and learned from her example. Early collaborations were marked by mutual respect, even warmth. That changed as Branagh's confidence grew. During a rehearsal, he interrupted Dench mid-performance and corrected her in front of the entire cast and crew. Not gently, not privately, but with the certainty of someone who believed his success now outranked her experience. The room froze. Judi Dench finished the scene without protest. But something fundamental broke in that moment. It wasn't the correction itself. She had accepted direction her entire life. It was the manner, the assumption, the public display of authority over someone who had helped shape his career. She later said very little about the incident, but their professional relationship never recovered. Projects that once seemed inevitable quietly vanished. Invitations stopped arriving. To Judi Dench, gratitude is not sentimental, it's behavioral. And when humility disappears, respect follows it out the door. Number 6. Richard Eyre. The moment she was treated like a beginner. This was the moment Judi Dench herself described as the most painful. Richard Eyre was an acclaimed director, known for precision and control. Their collaboration began with promise, until one sentence changed everything. During a discussion about character interpretation, Eyre dismissed her instincts with a casual wave of the hand and said, "Just follow the map, Judi." The room fell silent. To anyone else, it might have sounded harmless. To Judi Dench, it was devastating. After decades on stage and screen, after countless performances built on intuition and lived experience, she was being told not to think, not to feel, just to obey. That wasn't direction. It was diminishment. She finished the project professionally. But it was the last time. She never argued, never complained publicly. She simply removed herself from every future opportunity connected to him. For Judi Dench, that moment represented the ultimate boundary, the denial of her identity as an artist. In the end, Judi Dench's story is not about resentment. It is about boundaries. For decades, the world mistook her silence for endless grace. They assumed her politeness meant forgiveness, that her composure meant nothing had wounded her deeply enough to matter. But silence, in Judi Dench's life, was never surrender. It was choice. Each of the 6 names she revealed represents a moment when that choice was tested, not by rivalry or ego, but by disrespect. Not shouted insults, but quiet diminishment. The kind that happens behind closed doors, in rooms where power assumes it will never be questioned. Judi Dench did not fight back because she didn't need to. She understood something many people learn too late. Arguing with disrespect only gives it more space to exist. Walking away, on the other hand, removes its oxygen entirely. What makes her confession so powerful at 91 is not the names themselves, it is the timing. At an age when many people soften their memories or rewrite the past to keep the peace, Judi Dench chose clarity instead. She chose to say that talent does not excuse arrogance, that genius does not cancel basic decency, and that age does not erase the right to be treated with dignity. This is not a cautionary tale for Hollywood alone. It is a lesson that reaches far beyond film sets and rehearsal rooms. How many times have we accepted small humiliations to avoid conflict? How often have we told ourselves it wasn't worth it, only to carry the weight of that moment for years afterward? Judi Dench reminds us that self-respect does not require confrontation. Sometimes it requires distance. And sometimes the strongest statement a person can make is the one they never explain. She didn't seek revenge. She didn't demand apologies. She simply chose not to return. And perhaps that is the quiet power behind this story. Not bitterness, not anger, but a lifelong commitment to knowing where the line is and having the courage to step away once it's crossed. Because in the end, forgiveness is optional, but dignity is not.